y'all, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join the Raven family. And without further ado, let's jump into the Legacy Challenge. So it's bright and early this morning, and Rayne is just up making herself a little bit of what looks like fruit salad, and she did go on a date that I did not put on camera here. It turned out that she went on a date with a nice young lady, and turns out that halfway through the date, the girl was like, I'm totally not into girls. So they decided to just be friends. Their relationship actually was pretty good. They became friends quite quickly, but there was just nothing romantic about it. So she did make herself a good friend, and I am perfectly okay with that, and that works out just well. As we know, Rayne does struggle in the dating department. She has had more failed dates than she's had anything else. She's even struggled with making friends. I think the only friend that she really has is Alonzo, and he is the clingiest friend I've probably ever seen ever, and that was a floating glass of water, so that was talented. I just want you guys' opinion on something. We are going to go ahead and try Tinder. I don't know if it's called Tinder, but you know what I'm talking about in this episode, and I'm going to try and get her set up with Karina Chow, which is the non-binary sim that I created. And we're going to try to get her to go on a date, or at least invite Karina over and see if they get along. If they do get along, great. If they don't get along, well, that sucks. Part of me hopes they do, but the other part of me is skeptical because so far, Rayne hasn't gotten along with anyone. And I know she's pansexual, but she's not gotten along with, like, anyone. So it's just really, really difficult. So I am throwing around the idea that maybe she just wants to be single for a while. And you know what? That's completely okay if she wants to be single for a while. The only problem that I do have with this is we need to get this legacy started. So I want you guys to let me know in the comments below if you think we should adopt or if you think we should do IVF. So those are the two options that we have. IVF obviously would be her own genetics, and then obviously someone else's. So let's vote down in the comments below. Let me know. So Sarah's who she went on that date with, and they made really good friends. She's asking her out on another date. I'm gonna say no, just because they literally just went out, and I'm not going to go out with her again. I'm just going to let her kind of do her own thing. And then later on this evening, we're going to do something with Karina. I'm just going to let Rayne kind of do whatever it is she wants. But let me know, IVF or do you think she should adopt? Let me know what you guys think would be the better option. And we will probably go that route. Just because it is seeming to me like maybe Rayne is trying to tell us something. There are 2 more Sims that she could meet in the world that could possibly potentially be potential love interest for her, and maybe down the road we'll meet them and that could pan out. But it looks like right now she's perfectly content just being by herself. But being that this is a legacy, we need to go ahead and get going on her at least having a child. Because as much as I hate to say this, we're on a normal lifespan and she's not getting any younger. So, there's that. So we can just go ahead and focus on her career, focus on Rayne, and focus on moving forward with either IVF or adoption, whichever you guys think is best. And because of the way we set up our succession lineage rules, adoption is allowed, and IVF definitely would be because that is literally her DNA. So this is where I'm actually just going ahead and getting everything set up for her to be able to do the Tinder dating later. So I'm just getting her the little iPad for her to be able to do that. Because she does have to have a little iPad to do the Tinder dating. And so I'm getting all that set up. And then we will swipe right and hopefully be a match. And if we are a match, we'll invite Karina over. So that will be fun. While she is there just practicing her mixology, making drinks so that she can do her work task for the day. So, other than that, I think that's pretty much the updates that we've got going on for all of that. Okay, so Alonso says, I'm delighted you recommended I spend some time with Thomas. I was amused the entire time. Well, that's great. But Alonso is calling us, wanting us to visit his house. So let's go ahead and go over to Alonso's. All right, so we are here at Alonso's place, and I think let's go ahead and go over here and just spend some time with Alonso, and we can paint this mural over here together. That'll be fun for us. I don't know, it'll be something different for Rayne to kind of get into. She doesn't really have any other hobbies other than her gardening and her mixology, so it'll be nice for her to do something different, and she's never actually been to Oasis Springs, so she's like, oh, that, look at them get on. They're being mischievous with one another. Clearly these two like to pick on one another. They have a very strange relationship. You know, they had started out kind of like friends, but then they were kind of romantic, but then they were just friends, but then he was flirty with her, but then he decided to start dating someone else, and then, I don't know, honestly. Like, they have a romance bar, but obviously because they're just friends, there's nothing really there. But sometimes the game still thinks they're, like, in a romantic relationship, even though they're not. So it's really, really strange. So sometimes they do get some uncomfortable moodlets whenever certain things happen, just because that romance bar is there, even though they're not a romantic couple whatsoever. They literally are just friends. But it is what it is. You know how the Sims can be. So they're just painting this mural together. They're having a good time together, and it gives Rayne something kind of fun to do on her day off that she doesn't normally do. Usually she's running around on dates, making a fool of herself, and today she's just spending, well, I was going to say she's spending a little bit of time with a friend, but it seems like all they're really doing is arguing about love things. And now he's sad. Rayne, why are you being so mean to Alonso? He didn't do nothing to you. Ooh, those fumes, you know? They are rough on a person. Y'all should be wearing, like, N95 masks. Stop. I think she is just, you know, I think it's Rayne. It's just Rayne. Rayne's just hard to get along with, honestly. I think she's kind of a little bit maybe opinionated, and I think, honestly, she is just a little bit difficult for people to get along with. Look at, he's like, I'll stand up to you. I'm not scared to say what I think, Rayne, okay? You don't need to be talking to people like you talk to people, alright? People are allowed to have their own opinions. She's like, I understand that people can have their own opinions, but just because you have your own opinion doesn't mean that mine is any less my opinion. Oh, and it's such a hot day out here. I'm used to Hemford. Oh, how can you live out here in this desert? Aren't you, like, used to the water or something? I don't understand. It is weird that a mermaid's living in Oasis Springs, don't you think? Maybe that's why he's constantly at our house, because Hemford's lots of rain. Oh, and that said that we had lack of control. Rayne's partner thinks that she is too possessive. It's too sad because she is so into this relationship and tries hard to make the partner happy, but it seems that all the efforts are ruining her couple. we're not in a relationship. This is what I'm talking about. The Sims thinks that they're in a relationship, but they're not. They're just friends. So I don't know why it seems to think that, but they're just friends. So now they have a negative sentiment with one another, but they're just friends. They're not even in a relationship like that. So that doesn't even make sense. Well, now that the mural is done, it's actually quite pretty. I like that. I'm actually going to have Rayne go ahead and go over here and have us sit down on this bench over here. And then, truth be known, I think that I'm probably going to have her go home. It is about 3:12 p.m. and I do want her to go ahead and go on that date with Karina. So we'll go home and get ourselves ready for that. Okay, we have arrived back at our home lot and it is pouring down rain, so it is a very different contrast here than in Oasis Springs. But as we know, Rayne absolutely loves it here on her home lot and she loves the rain. So she doesn't even seem to mind, but it would seem that she has shown up to the house and her garden is in desperate need of some love. So we're going to go ahead and let her do her gardening because her crops need harvesting and things of that nature. So that is going to be the first thing that we let her do, is deal with all of her gardening, because she had, as we know, a day full of dusty, hot, muggy air, and she was inhaling all of those fumes. So it would be right up her alley that she would be out here in the rain and she would be smelling all of these natural smells that she's used to and that she loves, and she would be tilling her soil and picking her harvestables and doing the things that calm her, because we know that this is her happy place. And so what better way to get her in a great mood to have someone new come over, or to at least find out if she's a match with someone, than to go ahead and do what she loves. She also wants to go ahead and finish up with that last bit of her work task. She needs about 25% more of that, and then that work task will be done. So she's just preparing another drink or two, and that will be done. And so we'll let her go ahead and finish that up. And gross, so we'll clean that up because she's made a bit of a mess. And then we will go ahead and just let her tend to herself. I'm gonna have her go ahead and clean up just a little bit and cook a meal, because if for whatever reason they do have they do get on, her and Karina, and she does decide to go ahead and invite them over, then I do want there to be something for them to eat. So we're gonna go ahead and just get a little bit of baking done. That will work on a little bit of her gourmet skill as well. And yeah, I think that will be good. Who doesn't love being invited over and having something to eat as well? So now that we have the plum fruit option, mini iPad kind of plum pad, whatever it's called, I get the mini one here, so that we can go ahead and swipe right. We'll see if we're a match, and if we are a match, then that will be great. We can go ahead and see if maybe Karina would like to come over and hang out. So I'm going to get the mini because it's only like $699 and it does the same capabilities. It's just cheaper, smaller version. And that way we don't use up all of our funds. And then we'll go ahead and we'll go on to the, is it called Tinder? For some reason I want to say it's Tinder in real life, but in the game it's not called that. I'll pay attention and I'll see what it's called, because I can't quite remember. You know, I'm really bad about this. Not chat. Okay, so we'll go ahead here and just open up our app menu, and it is called Love to Meet. Love to Meet. I knew that it wasn't Tinder. I just couldn't remember the name of it. Love to Meet. So we're going to go ahead and browse the women profiles, and we should be able to find her on the women's profiles because it's going to go by the fact that her gender is technically female, even though she associates as they, them. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, so she'll set up her profile picture here, and then we'll go browse the women profiles and see if we can find Karina and see if they are a match. And she made some lovely breadsticks for them to snack on. Are you going to make something else, though? I can't remember. And she's listening to a little bit of music to get herself in a great mood. Right now she's feeling very focused. She's like, yes, I'm going to go on here. I'm going to give this one last ditch effort. The Simda dating world didn't work out. Maybe this Love to Meet is going to be different. Maybe this will be a better option for me. So we're going to go and we're going to look and we're going to see what our options are. And we're going to see if there's a match. And if there is, maybe there's hope for me yet. And so she's pumped. Like, she's like all in. Like, this is going to be the one. This is going to be great. And like, she's all excited. She's thinking like, maybe this was the one. Maybe this is the, after 550 million dates, maybe this is the one that, finally is going to stick. Right? Like, that's mentally where she's at. Like, I'm going to give it one more last chance before I say no more, and I'm just going to, be me for a while. So that's kind of where she's at mentally going into this, and so she's pumped. She's focused. She's excited. And then she comes across the picture of Karina, and she's like, oh, this person, they look very attractive. Let's go ahead and see if we're a match. Can we fix this when you're done doing that? And it was a match. So what we're going to do is we're going to repair that sink because it's flooding our kitchen, and we just can't be having that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to, after repairing the sink, we're going to invite over Karina and see if they want to maybe come over and hang out. Okay, so she is just feeling a little bit hungry, so she's going to go ahead and grab herself a little bit of food here and have herself a bite to eat, and then she's going to give Karina a phone call and just invite them over and just say, like, look, we matched on the Love to Meet app, and we had a nice chat afterwards. I think that maybe you should come on over. I've made a meal. We can sit down. We can kind of chat. We can get to know one another. I think... what do you say? And Karina was like, you know what? I think that sounds like a great plan. I'll be right over. So she has set out some onigiri, and she's going to just invite in Karina. Okay, just help yourself on in. And she came straight in and started mopping up the floor mess. So that was really sweet. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to do that, she says. And Karina's like, no, really, it's my pleasure. It's nice to meet you. I'm Karina. And she's like, hi, my name is Rayne. And so she instantly gets a negative sentiment with us that she thinks that we are, impact conscientious of like the, And of course, Alonzo decides to show up on our doorstep. No, you're not coming in. We have company over. Go away. Go home. So we're sitting here and we're chatting and we're just kind of getting to know one another. We're going to just chat and see how, what are your interests, what are the things that you like, and like what's your favorite color, and are you single, and just getting to know one another and see if maybe they can get along. And where did they go? Oh, they're just looking at our stuff. And so she comes outside and she's like, "Hi, Alonzo, why are you here? I have company over." And of course, Karina comes out and she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you had someone else coming over." And he's like, "Why are you here?" "Fine, I'll just go on home." And she's like, "I didn't realize that he was coming by. I apologize if that was uncomfortable for you." And Karina's like, "Well, it's just really weird that you would invite two people over at the same time." So our sentiment about Karina is that we find them responsible. So we like Karina. We find Karina responsible, but Karina had a negative sentiment originally about us that we're, kind of a greenie, right? About nature and stuff. So she's going, "I'm really, really sorry that he just showed up. I really didn't intend for that to be that way. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable or anything like that." And so now she's, kind of flirting a little bit with her and just saying, like, "You look really nice. And, I'm really glad that you decided to come on over." And Karina Chow is having some fun. Okay. We told Karina that we thought we thought they looked nice, and Karina decided to go self-woohoo. All right. On that note, okay. Guys, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, Karina enjoyed that compliment so well that it excited her enough that she needed to go self-woohoo, and now we're just in here cleaning the kitchen and putting away sushi, and she's just in there in our bed having a good old giddy-doo. So, on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. So, we may like Karina. Karina may like us. I'm not really sure. Still let me know in the comments below what you think. And if this relationship with Karina does not work out, if you think IVF or adoption. And I am going to go ahead and leave this one here. I will see you guys in the next Legacy Challenge with Rayne Willows. And until then, I am going to fly for now. Bye, y'all.
I know that we just met the other night, but I can't get you off my mind. Not a smooth talker under pressure. Sweaty palms ain't making it much better. Something about you feels so special. Pretty over from the minute that I met you.